This is Giovanni Stefano for SLI Media. It is a special report on the ongoing trial of the so-called alleged royal blackmail case that is occupying Court 11 at the Central Criminal Court, better known as the Old Bailey in London. Now, yesterday the case commenced and the jury was selected, and of course today the jury was sworn. The prosecuting counsel is a very eminent and very famous Mark Ellison QC, who heads for the prosecution. The defence of my client, Ian Strachan, is in the very capable and good hands of Jerome Lynch QC. The defence for McGuigan, the co-defendant of my client, is in also very capable and experienced hands of Ronnie Thwaites QC. Now, as I said, the jury have been selected. Now, what is strange about this is that here we have a case in England and Wales, yet it would appear, that's all that I can say, that out of the 12 jury members, you can effectively only identify 3 English names. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. The Juries Act and all the new legislation does permit for that to occur. But it's something that one has to consider when a number of jury members cannot be found who are of the English race, who are trying effectively a Scotsman and an Irishman in an English court for what is, to all intents and purposes, the offence of blackmail, which is under Section 21 of the Theft Act there. Now, what's happened today is that the prosecuting counsel, Mark Ellison, has opened the case. This is perfectly normal, and it's what happens in all criminal trials. The prosecution have to pin their colours to the mast. They have to say that the accused has done this, 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 and we can prove it with this, this, and this. Now, of course, it's the opening day. So on the opening day, it would make considerable news, because they are the allegations which the clients face, and they look quite serious. Blackmail is a serious offence. Of course, it's not a hanging or a capital offence there, but nonetheless, blackmail is not to be treated lightly. Somewhere along the line today, we managed even to get to the evidence of James Weatherup, who is a reporter for the News of the World, very famous. Max sells more than 10 million copies in Europe there. They were the ones that effectively, to all intents and purposes, assisted, I say that properly, assisted my client and McGuigan in making the recordings which have subsequently led to where we are today. Weatherup, James, is a very experienced reporter, and also a man that knows his job very, very well. He's reported for a number of years for that, mostly for News of the World there. He's being cross-examined at the moment by Mr. Lynch QC, and let me say that everybody is doing their part and playing their own role in this very, very sad. Let me tell you from the outset, there will be no winners and no losers here, because the only losers is the very sad and tragic image of a royal family that for a number of years has suffered the normal dysfunctionality which society in England and Wales and the United Kingdom, Great Britain, call it what you want, even in Europe, has undergone. And it is taking a very, very tough blow. Now, I've already said from the outset, I've told the Crown Prosecution Service that, in my view, this is not a prosecution that should have occurred. Everybody, of course, must assume their own responsibilities. Now, tomorrow is going to be a very interesting day, because we will have completed, hopefully, the cross-examination of Mr. Weatherup, and with some luck, we may end up getting to the French lawyer. Now, he is the key to this, because no French lawyer, if he doesn't stand up properly in court, if his evidence isn't properly presented, and if it's not tested in accordance with the opening speech, there is no case. There will be no case to answer because the alleged victim is not going to give evidence. However, we've made it very crystal clear that although the alleged victim, a member of the royal family, has hired a very eminent firm of lawyers to represent the interests of that person in court, we've made it clear that they had better not report to that person what is said in court, because we may, if it's deemed appropriate, have to issue a subpoena to call that person. So, although we've said that we will not, that's based upon how the opening has gone. But in a trial, as those like myself and many others who are experienced in these matters, as the song from Cole Porter says, anything goes. This is Giovanni Stefano for SLI Media.